do have a Plan Commission report tonight. Zoe will present this as PC 22-10. This is a request for a special use permit to legalize and authorize the renovation of a non-conforming mixed-use development with variations. I'll let her take it from there.
Thank you all. Tonight I'm introducing Plan Commission case PC 2210, a request for a special use permit to authorize the renovation of a non-conforming mixed-use development at 6222 Lincoln Avenue and 8503 through 09 Fernald Avenue. In November of 2020, a fire event occurred at the property, causing considerable damage to the south building. Because a building permit was not obtained and reconstruction was not initiated within 1 year of the date of damage, the property lost all non-conforming protection provided by code. The applicant is proposing to refinish the building's exteriors in hardyboard siding, add windows along the west elevations, pave the abutting vacant lot, and construct 5 parallel parking spaces, 1 for each residential unit. Install fire suppression systems in both structures and comply with current building and life safety codes as required by the village. On August 6th, the Appearance Commission recommended approval of the project with conditions, and on August 7th, the Traffic Safety Commission recommended approval as well. On August 18th, the Plan Commission voted to recommend approval with conditions relating to site design, construction schedule, signage, trash areas, and snow removal. I'd be happy to answer any questions. The applicant is also present.
Trustee Greer?
Thank you, sir. So, are they required to sprinkle this now?
The fire department has indicated that both buildings will be required to be sprinklered.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Yeah, I have a question.
Trustee Thill?
They're going to put that parking in where they have to back into and pull out. And there's that porch there. Now, a number of times people have hit the gas when they meant to not hit the gas. Can they put a steel post to protect that post that's holding up the porch? Because if somebody hits that, it's coming down. So it's just my comment.
Absolutely. This was discussed at Traffic Safety and Plan Commission meetings. They were open to installing bollards of some type to protect that structure. So,
Well, I heard the young man, every time something was brought up, oh, yes, we'll take care of it. We'll take care of it. But if it's not in writing, it's not going to get taken care of.
we can amend the ordinance to include
Okay,
it.
thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you, Trustee Thill. Thanks, Zoe. Residents' comments is on agenda items only. For agenda items only, Rudy Vilk for presentations of warrants.
Good evening, everyone. Like usually, by the end of agenda, we have presentation of warranty. Before, I ask many people, like Trustee Vitko, Trustee Thiel, and somebody else, included Mayor, included Ralph, do me a favor, just make it price, whatever you have, resolution on ordinance, how much it cost. Because nobody understands what it means presentation warranty. It have, for example, now, $262,000 for $28.98. But somebody who make it this now, today, not explain to you from which resolution, how much money cost, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Better make it like this. This $262 and something like this, resolution 2026, this amount. Resolution this amount. And everybody clear to see how it's make it $262. So sometimes it's have not $2,062, sometimes it has millions, 900, something like this. We present here for clear, not for you personal. Like Trustee Vitka told me, oh, you have paper, you go to internet and found over there each resolution, you need to make it your job. Sorry, many people not familiar like you with computer. And when even one person in Morton Grove ask you if they will make it amount for each resolution or finally presentation on warranty, make it over there. Resolution, this is this amount, resolution, this is this amount. And every people see clear from where take this amount finally. But now, many times, Mr. Greer make it like this potential warranty. I want to ask you today, can he make it one by one how it's received $262? Okay, I very appreciate you. Have a great day, and I hope next time everybody in agenda have this amount. Also, Tarostivitko tell me, no, agenda it's like permanent. It's not permanent. Every time when you want, you have chance to change it. When you need to clear talking to all public, because you working just with residents knows how you spend their money, but now nobody knows where is it, 100, 200, 1 million, something like this. Thank you for attention.
Thank you, Rudy. And for the public, just I want to be perfectly clear here. When we approve a resolution, there is an actual amount on the resolution which is presented and posted so that you can see that, number one. Number two is then that is then followed through by a warrant list that has every expense of the village on there. And the resolutions or ordinances, whatever they are, that have money approved for them, obviously would come out of this budget, the warrant list at some point in time. So I think we're very transparent and clear about it, and anybody can get this at any time. If you're not computer literate, I encourage you to come to the village, see Ralph or Hannah, and they'll be happy to share this with you. So again, we want everybody to know where their dollars are going. We take a lot of pride in that. So that's all I want to say about Rudy's comments. Any others on agenda items only? Hearing none. President's report, nothing for me tonight. Clerk's report.
No report, Your Honor.
Thank you. Staff reports, village administrator. Thank you, corporate counsel. Thank you, trustee Greer.
No report, sir.
Thank you, sir. Trustee Khan, you're the busy person tonight.
Sorry, my mic was off. I have a second reading for ordinance 22-13, which was introduced on July 25th, and today is the second reading for this. This ordinance is approving a map amendment to rezone the property at 8350 Lehigh Avenue from M2 General Manufacturing to Commercial Residential to allow for an 89-unit townhome development concurrently proposed under case PC 22-09. A little background on this: the vacant subject property is currently improved with a 95,000 square foot industrial structure that has remained vacant for several years, but due to its functional obsolescence for modern industrial uses. The subject property contains at least 0.75 acres of land area and has over 330 feet of public right-of-way frontage, meeting two of the three minimum criteria for an authorized map amendment set forth in section 12-16-4 of the Unified Development Code. On June 2022, the applicant appeared before the Plan Commission to present the request for approval of the application, and based on the application, supporting staff report and testimony presented at the public hearing, the Plan Commission voted unanimously to recommend approval of the map amendment with conditions relating to the area of rezoning and approval of the case PC 22-09. I hereby make a motion to adopt this ordinance as presented.
I'll second that.
Motion made by trustee Khan, seconded by trustee Greer. Any discussions, questions, clarification?
I do have a couple of questions,
Trustee Thill?
and I don't know if I should ask them at 2213, 2214, or 2216, so if I can get it out there now.
Go ahead.
Okay, this is for the developer. I'm going to ask again, is there any possibility of saving those oak trees on the south end? And if there's not, why not?
Because there's not.
Mark McLaughlin, MI Homes. There is not. Between the demolition of the site, the environmental remediation of the soil, and the location of those trees, they have to go.
All right, I've got your plan here. And all of the remediation that you think you have to do is on the north end and on the northeast end. I've read your remediation plan, where your borers are and all that. There is no contamination that I saw on your plan where those oaks are.
There's extensive remediation needed south of the entrance,
And the entrance is being where?
the existing entrance. South of the existing entrance where the oaks are located, we have to
Okay.
remediate that soil to meet
Well,
IEPA standards so we can get an NFR, so we can let people live there.
well, I'm not fully comfortable with the remediation. You've come to us for variances, which we've given you. You're coming to us from financial support, which we're going to give you. So I think there should be a point that we should have some negotiations. I measured that one oak tree. It's 12 and a half feet around. I did my calculations on the age of that tree, and I didn't trust myself, so I called Morton Arboretum today. They did the calculations. That particular tree is 190 years old. Now, those trees have been there before the Indians left us. And there's history there. And I'm a steward in the forest preserves. And just today, I walked the trail, and I lost another one of my big oak trees. These oaks, there's two of them, one that's dead, and one that's doesn't look good at all. But the rest of them look okay.
I do not dispute the history of those trees. I am not willing to negotiate with the IEPA on what will not get me an NFR, which is required at the end of the day. I can't. I have to do what is going to be required so that we can get a clean bill of health so that I can actually sell the homes on the site. I can't waver from that, I'm
But
sorry.
you're not building houses in that area.
That's where building, oh, you're testing me here.
That's the
One?
southeast corner.
Yeah, building one off the site plan? Is that right? Yeah, building one will be located in that location, so, yes.
This is the
Yeah,
map here.
yeah.
You've got this big area, you're gonna put sidewalks and two-inch trees.
Correct.
Couldn't building one potentially take some of this land here and be put over here?
No,
And why not?
I still have to remediate the soil in the area where the trees are.
Well,
I have to clean the site, all of it. I can't leave a portion that's still contaminated. That will not work. The entire site, no matter where the building is, no matter where stormwater is, no matter where sidewalk is, the site, everything I'm under contract to purchase needs to be remediated to a residential standard, not industrial, not commercial. The ability to then give a non-encumbered title to the 89 homeowners. I just can't waver on that, I'm sorry. I have to do what the IEPA is going to require me to do.
It's kind of a catch-22, trustee Phil.
well, quite frankly, I would like to make a motion to remove this from the agenda tonight and give the trustees time to go over and take a look at it, because I believe I'm the only trustee that did go over there. And even let the community express their opinions. Because like I say, you're asking for variances, you're asking for money from us. I'm not trying to shoot this down. I want this. But
We've
I also want the oaks.
understood. We've also met every public hearing requirement. The community has been notified of what's happening. As you just stated, the trees are over 100 years old. I think everybody knows where they are. It is where it is.
Well, the only reason you haven't heard from me publicly before is because many years ago when I first got on the board, I was told as a trustee, I can't come and talk in front of the Appearance Commission, Planning and Zoning. That's why you haven't heard from me before. You personally have, twice you've heard from me.
Yes,
But
and we've made adjustments
So,
based on those
trustee
comments.
Phil, are you making a motion to remove this from the,
I would like to
Table?
remove it from the agenda tonight, and
okay, make the motion, please?
I would make the motion to remove ordinance 2213, 2214, 2216 until our next meeting.
We're the only first two agenda items. We're not the third.
Yeah,
All right, 2213, 2214, until our next meeting.
Okay.
That way, there'll be input into it, and I will have a clear
that's,
conscience.
so your motion is made to to table ordinances 22-13, 22-14. Is there a second? Motion fails.
All right,
Could I ask a
Thank you.
question,
Sure.
Your Honor? Since this was first brought to my attention this evening, could you expound on the reason you have to do the remediation across the entire property?
Yes, we're converting it to a residential standard, and under the IEPA standards, you can't leave filthy soil on a property that I take title to.
Okay, how do we know that it's filthy?
The extensive Phase 1 and Phase 2 reports, which I have also submitted to staff.
Okay.
Yeah. We've spent more money on environmental investigation than we have on our actual engineering,
Okay.
water pipes, stormwater, it's extensive. But
Okay.
the property will be owned by the outlots will
No,
be owned
I
by the
understand.
HOA.
Yeah, I
That's why
understand
I
that.
have to, because it'll be owned by the community.
Other people?
Yeah.
Okay. And those are IPA requirements
Absolutely.
because you're putting it into residential?
That's correct.
Right,
Okay.
there, I'm sorry to interject, there
That's
are,
okay.
Julie Workman with Levenfeld Procine, there are different standards when you're remediating a site that has significant environmental contamination. If we were just remediating it to commercial standards where people wouldn't be living on the property, we might be able to get away with not removing as much soil and removing as much of the vegetation that's there. But unfortunately, when you're remediating to a residential standard, you really have to remove as deep and as wide as the contamination requires. And in this case, because of the extent of the contamination, which, as Mark said, is in our Phase 1 environmental report, I mentioned it may have been the Plan Commission meeting, we are looking at asbestos, we're looking at PCBs, arsenic, because of the nature of the site having been a former industrial site that produced all sorts of really noxious chemicals. There was all sorts of contamination deep into the soil and a very wide plume. We do have an exhibit which I've sent into community development that might be helpful to see.
I did
that-
see it.
With the plume, yeah, the sort of the red bubble. And it is really unfortunate. I'm as big of a tree hugger as the next person. I truly am, and it breaks my heart to see trees be lost, especially giant ones like that. But unfortunately, when you're remediating to this standard, you can't leave anything underground that would allow vapors to come out, for example, through people's floors. So we're going to be removing, how many feet? Do we know yet?
3.5 to 8.
Okay, so depending on the location, 3.5 to 8 feet in depth of soil. And then, are we doing vapor barriers or anything like that? Or the concrete basements will, or the concrete foundations will, okay. The concrete foundations should help prevent anything that might remain, but in theory, we're going to remove so much soil, put clean soil in its place, compact it, put concrete foundations in, and in theory, that will allow the site to be remediated to a residential
So,
standard.
in essence, the way I understand it, what you're doing by removing the soil in the depths that you are and then putting concrete on top of it, any remaining you're encapsulating. So
Exactly.
it can't actually leach through to the homeowners.
Exactly.
And that's what will give you the clear title.
Correct. That will be what allows us to get a no further remediation letter from the IEPA. And again, it'll be to a residential standard. The NFR letter will be to residential standard so that, as Mark said, when those homeowners or the homeowner association take title to their lots or to the outlots, they will have a clean bill of health on their title. It'll say that no further remediation letter was obtained, and then it'll be recorded against title to all of those lots in perpetuity, so people will know that we did what we
Right.
were supposed to do to make
Okay.
it safe.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
Another comment. The detention basin that you're gonna put in,
Yes.
is that holding water permanently or just during storms? I mean, it drains out.
Yes, it drains, and it'll have the bounce for the storm event.
Okay, it's just a suggestion, it's your property. The basin is a acre,
Right.
and you're going to put in prairie plants.
Yeah, native vegetation, correct.
I've been working on the Lene Prairie now for 19 years, and the amount of weeds this year is worse than it's ever been before. Basically, what I'm saying to you is the prairie plants, it sounds wonderful and all, you're going to put 2 feet of clay. Prairie plants are deep-rooted. The roots are not going to get through that clay. That's number one. Number two, if you just put in grass, keep it as a as a basin, but only grass, number one, and you wouldn't think I would be saying this because they're native plants, but number one, it's easy in maintenance for the HOA. And number two, if they choose to, they can use it as a snow field in the wintertime. And number three, since you're going to take my oaks down and there's no place for the kids to be, that could be a play field. It could be an acre play field for the kids when it's not holding water. Just suggestions. I'm not going to argue with you on that one.
Understood. Thank you.
And it's probably cheaper for you too. But that's my point. End of my comment.
Thank you. Any other comments? Hearing none, clerk, please call the vote.
Trustee Greer,
Aye.
Trustee Khan,
Aye.
Trustee Minks.
Aye.
Trustee Phil,
No.
Trustee Travis.
Aye.
Trustee Whitko.
Aye.
Ordinance 22-13 passes 5-1, Your Honor.
Thank you.
I have a second ordinance. Again, this is a second reading. It was introduced on July 25th. This ordinance is to approve a preliminary plat of subdivision, final plat of subdivision, and planned unit development special use permit to authorize the construction of an 89-unit townhome development and a subdivision to allow the sale of said townhomes on individual lots. The proposed development meets the minimum requirements for density, setback, building height, impermeable lot coverage set forth in Section 12-5-7, the Unified Development Code. With 220 proposed parking spaces for resident and guest use, the development exceeds the minimum off-street parking requirement of 176 spaces set forth in Section 12-7-3, with 10% parking reduction provided by the Section 12-5-7 for transit-oriented development within a quarter mile of the metro station. The applicant is requesting one waiver to Section 12-5-7 for the location of surface parking area relative to the buildings. In June, the Traffic Safety Commission and the Appearance Commission unanimously voted an approval of the proposed development with conditions. Following that, the Plan Commission voted unanimously with the conditions relating to the approval of case PC 22-08 and various development controls. I hereby make a motion to adopt this ordinance as presented.
Motion made by trustee Khan, seconded by trustee Minks. Any discussion, question, clarification?
I do have a couple comments,
Trustee Greer.
Mr. President. Thank you. First of all, I get trustee Phil on that first ordinance, and this obviously relates to it. So, trustee Phil, we'll talk about this after the meeting, but I don't know whoever gave you the information that we as, you're my colleague and I'm, vice versa. I don't know whoever gave you that information many years ago, but I speak at a lot of these meetings, and it didn't stop me from, expressing my desire for a traffic safety or a plan commission. And that's what I was just, I thought of what you said. And I know you respect me, and I absolutely respect you. We've been on this board many, many years together. And number two, I just wanted to, if this passes, I want to thank these people for going through the process. I know that it's not an easy process when it comes to residential properties. But we do have other properties that are contaminated, and we're sitting on them because nobody wants to take the time and the money to clean those properties up. So I have to say that, I feel bad for a tree too. And I'm not going to take light in anything because I normally throw a little side joke in there, and I'm trying not to, but I feel the same pain, John. Well, maybe not the same pain, John, or Trustee Till as you do, but I do feel the pain of removing something old, okay? Because I'm definitely a historian too. But I got to look at the facts here. I don't know how many years. I know it's in this report. I was trying to dig it out. I read it this afternoon and last week. I don't know how many years this property was vacant, but by gosh, it's not going to be vacant anymore. And I think it's about a dozen years. I could be wrong. I can't find it in the board notes, but it was quite a long time. So I'm gonna shut up now because sometimes I just don't know when to shut up. So, but the facts are, I want to welcome you if it does pass through. And I know it's not an easy project to get through, like I said earlier in my statement. So that's all I've got to say. Thank you for the time.
Thank you, trustee Greer. Any others? Clerk, please call the vote.
Trustee Khan,
Aye.
Trustee Minks.
Aye.
Trustee Phil,
Aye.
Trustee Travis.
Aye.
Trustee Whitko.
Aye.
Trustee Greer.
Absolutely, aye.
Ordinance 22-14 passes 6-0, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you for your time, you guys. Thanks for answering those questions.
I have one more ordinance 22-16, which is the first reading as introduced today by our Community Development Administrator Zoe Hydron. This ordinance is the first reading, so we won't be taking any action on this. This is to approve a special use permit for the renovation of an existing two-structure mixed-use development at 6022 Lincoln Avenue and 8503-09 Fernell Avenue.
Okay, that's it. Any other business, trustee Khan?
No, that finishes my report for today.
Thank you. Any questions from discussion on the board for 2216? Hearing none. Trustee Minks?
No report.
Thank you. Trustee Thill?
No report, but I would like to make a couple comments. This is what it's all about. Not everybody will agree with everybody else on this board. I know in the past, it's always been said, oh yeah, they all say yes. I mean, come on. But I tried, I failed, at least now I can sleep at night. Because the last couple of weeks I've been waking up the first thing in the middle of the night, I think about those oak trees. But you know what? Tonight I can sleep. I thank the board and I thank the audience for, being patient. End of my report.
Thank you, Trustee Thill. Trustee Travis?
Yes, Your Honor. I just wanted to make mention of the police department hosted its 7th annual National Night Out on August 2nd. The event was a great success. Estimates have about over 2,000 people in attendance. Children were able to enjoy pony rides, a climbing wall, caricatures, face painting, a bouncy house, and touching a truck. Everyone enjoyed delicious tacos, hot dogs, ice cream, Kona Ice, and were able to listen to a great band. So thank you to our incredible police department for making this happen, and to Public Works and the Fire Department and Park District for helping make it such a great success. That is the end of my report.
Thank you, Trustee Travis. Trustee Whitko?
Thank you, Your Honor. Tonight I have Resolution 22-33, authorizing a contract extension with Hayes Mechanical for the HVAC maintenance program. This will authorize the village administrator to approve a one-year extension for 2022 to 2023, and if circumstances so warrant, an additional one-year extension for 2023 to 24 for the contract with Hayes Mechanical for the HVAC maintenance program to service HVA equipment at 6101 Capulina, 8954 Shermer, 6250 Lincoln, 7840 Nagel, 7830 Nagel, and 8300 Lehigh, and 6140 Dempster Street. I move that we approve Resolution 22-33.
Second.
Motion made by Trustee Whitko, seconded by Trustee Travis. Any discussions, question, clarification? Hearing none. Clerk, please call the vote.
Trustee Minks?
Aye.
Trustee Thill?
Aye.
Trustee Travis?
Aye.
Trustee Whitko?
Aye.
Trustee Greer?
Aye.
Trustee Khan?
Aye.
Resolution 22-33 passes 6-0, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. Any other business brought before the board tonight? Hearing none. Presentations of warrants. Trustee Greer.
Thank you, Mr. President. I would like to present the warrants in the amount of $538,878.81. I'd like to move to accept those amount of monies for the warrant.
Motion made by Trustee Greer, seconded by Trustee Thill. Any discussion, question, clarification?
There's a big package here.
Hearing none. You up? You got something to say?
Oh, I thought you were going to allow me to speak there, Mr. President.
I asked for questions. You want?
I just wanted to let everybody
Trustee
know that-
Greer, go ahead.
I just wanted everybody to know that it is quite a bit of information on this warrant list every week, like you had said earlier in the evening.
Thank you. Any other comments? Hearing none. Clerk, please call the vote.
Trustee Thill?
Aye.
Trustee Travis?
Aye.
Trustee Whitko?
Aye.
Trustee Greer?
Aye.
Trustee Khan?
Aye.
Trustee Minks?
Aye.
The warrants pass as presented, 6-0, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. Residents' comments is on non-agenda items. Jim Accurso, come on down, Jim.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Jim Accurso. I'm with the Small Business Administration, Office of Disaster Assistance, and we are in Cook and Lake and McHenry and Kenosha counties at the request of Governor Pritzker following the mass shooting incident in Highland Park on July 4th. We are here offering small business recovery loans, economic injury recovery loans to any businesses in Morton Grove and in the counties I mentioned, if in fact they were disadvantaged as a result of the shooting. These loans are available to anyone at a walk-in site we have in Highland Park through the end of the week and through next April 25th on the website. So the economic injury development loans that we have are for, say, for folks if they need to make payroll or any other instances where they need to be made whole. If they weren't able to conduct business for the couple of weeks that, Highland Park was closed down. And we'd like to encourage any Morton Grove businesses to consider applying for the loans.
Thank you very much, Jim. Thanks for bringing that out to the forefront for us. That's
Okay.
good
I
input.
left- I left some flyers in the back. And,
Yep.
and Trustee Khan, I left some flyers, and I believe it's going to be up on the website as well.
Perfect.
So I just encourage anybody that we're here to help.
Appreciate your time.
Okay,
Thank you very much. Rudy Vilk.
Good evening again. Last session I talking about Ralph, Mr. Ralph. He prohibited, told me any kind joke to village personal, and I can see ad in when I come into village. No joke in village. Somebody took off. Mr. Ralph, I want to ask you, did you prohibit it just make a joke to me or to Mayor who joking sometimes, or Mr. Teal or Mr. Greg who make a joke, or it's just to me? When it's just to me, it means you broken American Constitution, freedom of speech. You don't like it this way, or personal terror to me? Maybe you like it this way? I can hear you. Also, last session, I asked you, please bring this person who crying about my joke to session. I want to see this person, and maybe not you explain to everybody, this person explain to everybody why she or he crying about my joke. Because I make a joke to many people, and like minimum, everybody smile, like maximum laughing. And I'm happy because I want to give people better time, not hard time. You make it hard time. Okay, and I hope Teresa Hoffman Liston explain to you what you're doing, what you broken Constitution America. Also, you swear all time to American flag, just and for all, and you're broken again. Each judge, what you start to talking to him, is not believe you just because you broken many times law. Okay, about in hard copy for schedule event village. When I asking Ralph, he told me no, anymore no, just internet. That's it. You have in first floor board and have schedule meeting board of trustee. Why not put in this board schedule event? That's it. And nobody ask him hard copy. Think a little bit. It's easy to you and easy to everybody who not
1 minute, Rudy.
chance going to computer. Okay, and also, is for example, when you go to a restaurant and everybody give you hard copy menu. Nobody told you, go to internet. The same here. You make it service. All people who work in village administration make it service to residents. Service. You for residents, not residents for
30
you.
seconds, Rudy.
Check your watch again, please.
30 seconds, 20 seconds.
Okay, 20 seconds. Okay. Next time, I continue about Teresa Hoffman Liston because I stop make it because
10
Ralph
seconds.
make me problem. But just today, Teresa Hoffman Liston told
5
me
seconds.
personal information. When I asked
Okay,
him
that's
what date
Can I get a motion to adjourn?
secretary coming back to work.
Motion's
She don't
been
know.
made by
It's
trustee
personal
Whitco,
information.
seconded by
It's something
trustee
wrong.
Minks to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned
Thank you.
at 7:36.